thanks to all the hard work of our directors and everything, we didn't get her done. The state, with the rise in the metrics, is that what's called, metrics, has kept us in the extreme. We've crunched numbers, Rick's worked numbers, Roger, Frank, COVID plans, everything, and we've come to the conclusion that we're not going to be able to have the rodeo this year. So we're going to kind of walk through what happened and what's going on. And so Roger worked mainly with the state of Oregon. And Roger, you want to kind of talk about your role?
Yeah, we've been working on it for months, actually. By yesterday, we'd worked our way all the way up to the governor. And they just had, they like to call them protocols, but they're metrics on things that we had to comply with, like 50%. We would only be able to fill the stadium with 50% of the people. Then when Deschutes County went into the high risk category, that knocked us up even worse than 50%. And so we finally just came to the conclusion that we couldn't do it. And we tried to get them to budge, and there was no ways. But I just want to thank the rest of the board for really working hard.
Our people pulled hard, our chamber pulled hard, our mayor, the city of Sisters, everybody was behind this thing, but we couldn't get her done.
Sometimes we get frustrated and, you know, somebody like, well, let's just cowboy this thing in there. I'm like, hell yeah, we'll cowboy that in there.
We thought
and then we'd read the, you know, what happens if you cowboy it in there. And it's like, all right, take your cowboy hat off, put your businessman hat on. I mean, part of the consequences of cowboying it in there is they will come and pull your liquor license, and it can be in the middle of your show, and they can also not issue you a liquor license next year. So the consequences were pretty extreme, and we just felt as a group, I mean, we worked better as a group this year than we ever have. You know, guys have put in many hours. We've had many more meetings than we've ever had before, and you know, we finally came together. It's like, it just, we would be irresponsible if we did it. So
we have enough money to cover all of our operational costs this year, and really not end the year in any kind of negative position that's any whole lot different than any other year when we have a rodeo. Because the rodeo, you know, we bring all this money in and we spend all this money, and at the end of the year we hardly have any money left. Well, that's kind of the way it's going to be this year without the rodeo. But we're very fortunate to have had several things come together to give us enough money to have that happen. We had the firefighters, the revenue from them when they were renting our property last year. We got some grants, Brian may talk about that kind of come out of the whole COVID thing.
How do we best treat the strongest people at this rodeo, and that's our participating ticket holders. And our choice that we came up with is, we're going to roll forward, we're going to be prepared for next year. All of the tickets that are sold are going to be rolled forward for the rodeo in 2022. Of course, if anybody can't make it or wants their money back, they certainly will get a full refund of everything there. The longest running community event in Sisters, it really is, and that cultural element just can't be lost. We need to preserve that. So that's what we're doing for next year.
Ron and Paul and I, we've been building some pens back here that we can separate cattle a little easier with, and we pretty much got them done. But we're going to have to have a welder, and we have a queen that can do that for us.
Because we know that this is the next stage, and this is what our big rodeos are doing. We're not just following the shirt tails of them, but we're literally paving the next path of what we want our rodeo to look like for the future. We're making really good adventures into the next platform for our rodeo. So bear with us, we're just getting started, but I'm really excited for this next stage, and I know that by next year for rodeo, we're going to be on a really awesome path. So thank you guys for your patience with us.
In Sisters Rodeo history, a 3-time queen. We is gonna be, again, the third time, the Sisters Rodeo Queen. Like Marcus always says, we're a family. Man, we will win.